Welcome, adventurers and fellow world builders. My name is Yadro, and this is Yadro Gaming. Today we're going to be listening in on the second half of the Quiet Year that I just played with 6 players that I'm going to be starting a new campaign with, playing in this world that they're creating at this game. This is the second half of the year, so we're starting off in the autumn season, and I think you're going to find that everyone is a little bit more comfortable now, having played 2 seasons already. They're getting into the second half of the year. Some of the questions take them in interesting directions and add a whole lot of chaos into the world that I'm really excited to delve into when the game actually starts. I'm going to check in at the halfway point again to kind of unpack the first season of Autumn that we do here, but just keep in mind that this is the world they're actually going to be playing in. And I'm not sure that some of them realize the decisions that they made here are going to show up later in the game and have really interesting consequences. If you haven't watched the first part of the Quiet Year, I would highly recommend you do so because the second half isn't going to have a whole lot of context to catch you up to speed. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and click on the link above me here and it'll take you to that video now. Let's jump in now and see how it goes.
Someone sabotages a project and the project fails as a result. Who did it and why? Or someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of a settlement. How does the settlement respond?
It's just a single person?
Yeah, someone is caught trying to sabotage the effort.
Yeah, somebody who does not want they want to be about wine, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Is caught trying to, poison the livestock that they have so that it doesn't expand.
There's a lot of poison happening.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
I've seen Game of Thrones twice. We must poison the wine.
Can we make that your abundance is poison?
I'm in.
Like, why do we keep this poison everywhere? Why is it all over? What do you put on the map?
There's a strange field between
field?
Mugtuck and Morricone where when you, people have seen different things there, but they are not to the size and scale that they should be. So, tiny cows or large
Miniature
chickens.
Highland cows? Oh my god.
When I say mini, I mean, the size of a chicken.
So Mike's character
Yeah.
has never seen a miniature Highland cow.
Yes.
Introduce a dark mystery among the members of the settlement, or conflicts flare up between settlements, and as a result, a project fails.
I'm gonna introduce a dark secret that there used to be actually a 7th settlement. And it was somehow swallowed up by the desert.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the people of Dur were the reason that it disappeared under the sand.
How could Dur?
Dur bastards.
Get Durred.
Get there.
Actually, yeah.
We all have shirts that are... The Death God split off, and this one is yours, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
It has completed. What's that look like when they break off?
You know how people were disappearing in Brellwood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're the reasons why.
Oh.
Dur is why?
Hmm?
Dur is why?
The people who left Of course, Dur, the death gods of, Dur.
I mean, if you're gonna sacrifice somebody, sacrifice the big lumberjack, right? The more you sacrifice, the more it's
There's
worth.
more blood in them.
That's
so
what I
they-
mean.
Turn.
Oh, these are blood
Which god
sacrifices?
it was?
Blood for the blood.
A settlement works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early. Or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and find something that had been previously overlooked. What was it? Dur finished exploring the willows.
Yes, they found a grand willow in this beautiful, perfectly druidic grove. The leaves heal, but are super addicting.
Restlessness creates animosity, and animosity leads to violence. Who gets hurt?
In Muktuk. They're tired of those barbarians. Break one too many taboos. Say maybe Muktuk has a lot of cultural things like, oh, you just don't do that here. And there's so much of that going on, somebody finally kind of snaps, and then they retaliate, and
Love it.
it's violence. Like a druid grove, a little ways away from the tree.
Yeah, we got a monk's temple over here.
Someone leaves the settlement
One little
after
spot
issuing a dire warning. Who? What is the warning? Or someone issues a dire warning and the settlement leaps into action to avoid disaster. What is the warning? Start a contentious project that relates to it.
Somebody warns that the people in Dur who are worshiping the evil death god traveled to the Grand Willow to start somewhere to worship that, and that the Grand Willow needs to be destroyed because that's where the death worshippers are going.
That's our drugs.
I
Well, you
just
don't know
added
that.
the grove.
People
so exciting.
of Dur need to destroy the willow.
Somebody said the death worshippers are heading to the Grand Willow to do their death things. We have to follow them. I guess I start a project to head
So-
to the Grand Willow.
It's drawn incorrectly now. Originally, these were two bodies of water were connected, and that's why this bridge was here. But then this massive fire explosion, so now it's just bridge remains.
So there's just a bridge over the road?
Well, no, the bridge is going the wrong way. These two
Yes.
they were connected, so the bridge was going north-south. But then because this is now all charred, their only bridge remains here.
So something cataclysmic happened to separate
Yes.
the two lakes.
The Shadesmen arrive. Who are they? Why have they chosen this settlement and for what?
Because there's a sunglass up there.
Or,
The squirrel squad.
or a gang of marauders is making its way through local terrain. How many are there?
Can the number of marauders be one? There's just one marauder.
One guy.
I think
Don't
the
have hair.
Shadesmen
What
are
is
gonna
a
appear
cell
in
phone?
Evermore because I can't
Why are you trying to sell me cases?
not let us use that name. I like it.
Alright, Shadesmen.
And
They spray
they
perfume on
they have appeared to defend the willow tree. They've heard word that someone wishes it ill.
They arrive in Ambermere to defend. So the Shadesmen, under the shade of the willow tree, the Shadesmen want to
Love that.
protect the willow tree.
You're gonna find a dune-esque sandworm in the desert.
Oh.
No, sorry. The carcass of a dune-esque sandworm in the desert.
Claymation Beetlejuice.
Go on, tell us more.
Dur is going to start a project to start a new sect that worships a god of death, but a good god of death to replace the one that left. Because they're like, we have to have balance. You can't have all these gods and not the god of death because it's a natural thing. So they're replacing the one that left with the new one that worships, what do we say, Kellenvor?
Kellenvor's the
Like the neutral, like good god of death,
Okay.
which may cause issues if the other gods of death come back. Who knows?
Who's
But-
to say? How
yeah.
many weeks?
It seems pretty quick.
Everybody's gone now.
You gotta
Do they-
repurpose, take down all the old symbols of the other god, put it
No,
in the
you
new
just
symbol.
smash them out. Yeah.
No, just desecrate the temple, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's easy.
We'll make it longer, like 4 weeks then. But yeah, they need to find some
Whatever you
people and
Man, the fodder that you guys are given is wonderful. A natural disaster strikes the area. What is it? And then choose one. You focus on getting everyone to safety. Remove an abundance and the project fails. Or you focus on protecting your supplies and hard work at any cost. Several people die as a result.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Morricone. But you're right below the desert, so it has to be a sandstorm.
Cool.
We said waves earlier.
I couldn't help it.
I think that these Shades people left and left undefended, obviously. Just kidding. I think it was successful and they destroyed it, but not before the druids and people were able to take seeds from it and take them so they could start new ones or grow new ones.
So the willow is gone,
Yes, but it's not gone because they still have seeds they can.
but the willow
plant it.
itself is destroyed.
But they chopped it down.
So I think that there are propagated
So,
willows out
chop
there,
up
but the
wherever.
main willow has been chopped. So I don't have to worry about that drug necessarily yet.
I mean, a lot of it was harvested.
A lot of it was harvested.
Okay, about that willow property, like, this is what I was imagining. What happens is you can truly collect the branches and then turn them into arcs in like gardens. It's
Okay.
a form of like a propagation of the branches.
I think that's probably what you would see around the Druid Grove,
cool.
around the exterior of the
Then
grove.
I am perfectly happy.
I want to start a project for Morricone that is, we'll say 4 weeks, and it's going to be less harvesting because it's already there, but like utilizing the sand in some
Okay.
clay. I'm thinking glass.
Morricone makes glass.
Yeah.
A project just isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of it. Don't modify the project dice. When it resolves, you'll be responsible for telling how the settlement how it went.
I don't think I want to make a 10-week thing anymore. I just feel like
Something goes foul and supplies are ruined, add a new scarcity. So the projects currently going on right now are the liquor in Morricone. We have the start to worship a good god of Kelemvor, the god of death, or Morkane makes glass?
I'm going to go ahead and hijack the liquor making.
Okay, it's just not working out. Radically change the nature of it.
Yeah, instead of it's actually being in charge of the people of Marconi, it's like from like smugglers down there that have created all these places of making liquor. So it's more of they're creating it's
So
like
moonshine.
Pick up a moonshine.
They're making the moonshine and like distributing it illegally, but it's not under the jurisdiction of Marconi, and
So maybe a family within Morricone has said, like, this is our project. Like, we're making liquor.
right, and it like directly like competes with Marconi's wine
business.
The smugglers are going to be taking the liquor from Marconi and distributing it to Muktuk.
A settlement becomes obsessed with a single project. Which one and why? And then choose one. There's 3 options. They decide to take more time to ensure that it's perfect. Add 3 weeks to the dice. Or they drop everything else to work on it. All other projects fail. Or
Jesus.
if there are no projects underway, a settlement becomes obsessed with a grandiose vision. Hold a discussion about this vision in addition to your regular action for the week.
No, we'll go with Morricone. With this new fascination of glass and with the focus of it, we'll align an event with the discovery of the glass. So a 5-week project for almost like a celebration, the very first annual celebration of art of the glass.
Someone returns to a settlement. Who? Where were they? Or you find a body. Do people recognize who it is? What happened?
No, not
The power he wields.
A body. So somebody from what's the place near the Willow?
That's Ambermere there.
So somebody from Ambermere heard about all the ruckus that was going on at the Willow, so they went down to check it out. And they didn't find just a body; they found bodies of all of the priests that went down and found the
Durian?
leaves.
Durate?
Scares on people.
Because they're gonna be scared.
Durate.
They are getting absorbed into the ground. They are now feeding the new willows. So they basically got super high, passed out, and then were consumed by the forest.
Durites found dead and absorbed into the ground
Yes.
of the willows. I like that.
Cool, can I steal the other one to make Darla come back?
You can throw your dice, huh?
She's back, but she's different.
Back where? in Brellwood?
She's stronger. She's greater.
She
Wait,
has a
she's back in
mustache.
Broadwood? Oh, hell yeah.
Did we have to find out where she was?
Who, Darla, where were they?
She was one of the people missing over the mysterious lake.
Ooh, she returned from the lake.
An interrogation of Darla that is not nice.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
20 weeks, it never finishes.
For 5 weeks.
Okay, 5 weeks.
Like, she's kept starved, beaten, one, they don't like her.
In Brellwood.
In Brellwood.
Worship the god of Kelemvor. Kyle, how did that go?
I think we're good. I think people are generally happy, as I said. Everybody wants their own god, but they want balance as well. So there's, gods of nature in this, but there has to be god of death. That's just part of life. So I think everybody's cool with it.
Okay. Morricone making glass is down to 4. Smugglers taking Morricone liquor to Muktuk, where it's down to 3. Wherever 3 is. We're down to 4 for the celebration of the arts. Disease spreads through a settlement. Choose one. You spend the week quarantining and treating the disease. Project dice are not reduced this week. Or nobody knows what to do about it. Add health and fertility as a scarcity.
I think we're gonna go Muktuk. These barbarians brought the disease with them. Yeah, I think they took the barbarians and kept them somewhere. Is why are you here, whatever. And then the people watching over them started getting sick, and it started to spread.
So health and fertility is scarce.
Oh, I think. Oh, okay. So the barbarians brought it. They spent the week treating it.
So quarantine.
And can I do, and so we dug up some weird, potion, recipes and stuff. Maybe we use those as just a way of trying if it actually worked and cured it. So investigate. Maybe they hear They hear word that Morricone is working on liquor, and they have these weird recipes. They're like, oh, can make potions out of those.
Who's
So,
doing this?
Muktuk.
Mukta.
They've heard rumors that Morricone is making more advanced alcohol, and so what they found, they're gonna wait to get some from there and then research them.
Potions are just going to be bottles of vodka in this game.
Woo! A settlement leader dies. What caused the death?
If I recall, the leader of Tongue Realm
Take a hit on this
was
pipe.
ill.
Gain 10 hit points.
We discovered poplars.
That's a shame.
Is he dead now?
Yeah, he had a good life.
I'm sorry,
He had a good
poplars
couple
is
weeks
an
of life
offensive-
before
Did something go wrong with the potions they made?
I always
He
wanted
just-
to
I'm gonna go with actually he was found in his bed from sledger.
Oh.
So like there's very
Well, he didn't even die of his disease.
I'm not even like
Maybe somebody was glad
somebody
he
like
was sick.
wanted to get a second round, like make sure it happens right this time. For project, I think we're just investigating the murder. Not gonna be too creative with that one.
Teleron?
Yeah.
Harvest is here and plentiful. Add an abundance. Or cold autumn winds drive out your enemies. Remove a threatening force from the map and area.
Could I do that? Maricona has an abundance of glass. I guess it kind of would have to be in a little bit, yeah. An abundance of sand.
I was just saying, you have an abundance of sand.
You have an
Yeah.
abundance of sand. Congratulations.
With the sandstorm that blew through,
Yeah.
they now have an abundance of sand.
Like, y'all like sand?
Yeah, let's say. Can we start a project for Morricone to try to get some more animals from this strange field?
They've finished growing it. Morricone has the corn or whatever, and they're competing with the wine. It was successful. Well, it ended. Was it successful?
It's on Mike, I think.
Yes, that was successful. That was everything that I described earlier.
But it's moonshine, right?
It's more
Is
of
it
like,
actually? Yeah.
It's more of like a moonshine kind of like, we grow our own corn and potatoes and like make,
I wish it was the Morricone family, because it definitely sounds like an
Morricone,
Italian
yeah.
mobster.
Oh, well then yeah, definitely.
That
The
is
Mark
100% a composer's last name who did the music for Good Bad
Really?
Family. So
No, the Marcone family is the one that makes the wine. This is an offshoot, like
I like it.
yeah.
Like we're growing it in the man wood.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like it's successful. Like it must be decent. Or it's strong.
Well, it's not poison, so that's an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just flooded the community.
So we're at
It's the only liquor that is obviously not poisoned.
Right.
New.
Yep.
New season.
Welcome back. I hope you can see that I wasn't exaggerating. There was a lot of murder, death, poisoning, a lot of characters kind of coming in and out of the scenes, a couple joke characters getting thrown around in there, and just kind of some general chaos taking place in the world that they're going to have to plan. I'm excited for you to see the winter portion that's coming up next. Hopefully it has a little bit lighter of a tone and it's not quite as dark and grim. Let's find out.
Winter is harsh and desperation gives rise to fear-mongering. Choose one. Spend the week calming the masses and dispelling their violent sentiments. The week ends immediately. Or declare war on someone or something. This counts as starting a project.
I'm gonna say that Brelwood found out that the death gods, clerics, were sacrificing their own people and declare war on Dur.
Smugglers take the Morricone liquor to Muktuk. How did that turn out?
It was successful. They are distributing liquor, and as a result, brothels and are popping up all over Muktuk, and it's just becoming like once was a dry town. Like people are just getting
Farmers don't know what to do with themselves.
I'm gonna say my project is gonna be both Browood and Dur send people to Tellerant to try to request aid and hire mercenaries.
You see a good omen. What is it?
We'll go with Dur. And the good omen, just every cleric seems very joyful and connected. Like they just had oh, you also had a good day yesterday? I had a super connected day yesterday.
Morricone makes glass.
They sure do.
Yeah.
Successfully. Look at that.
Very elaborate, pretty glass. Everything works out well.
Yeah, they found that what is working the best for them are glass structures.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Glass
Crazy.
houses. The celebration of arts and glass, Charlie. Apparently it was successful. They can do it.
Huge success.
They burned down the houses.
That's it. Somebody knocks over all the structures.
Oh no.
That'd be a great reveal. burn down a house and there's a glass structure underneath it.
They build wood on the outside. We burn it down. It's risen.
Is this-
But
is
you
this-
also realize
stone
there's a guy
underneath.
inside trying to take a shit. He's like,
I would
no,
say huge. Like it was
Glass
such a
is
huge
exposed,
success
everyone
to the
inside
point that like,
cooks.
is it possible for them to have an abundance of like morality?
as in they're like joyful
Yes.
type of morality. In Brelward, the interrogation of Darla, which was not nice. How did
No.
that wind up?
it didn't go well.
She didn't give up any information?
Well, she's gone.
She's dead.
No, she's gone.
Oh, she's gone.
And there's a lot of blood and carnage in the area they were interrogating her.
Blood.
And it's probably not hers. There are people who are interrogating her are very dead and dismembered, and she's gone.
Dur's gonna hold a project. That disheveled crazy woman that came in, Charla.
Yep.
They're trying to silence her. She's causing too much of a ruckus.
The time has come to consolidate your efforts and your borders. Projects located outside of the settlements fail, and all remaining projects are reduced by 2 this week. Or someone finds a curious opportunity on the edge of the map. Start a project related to its discovery.
So you know that cave that opened up in the north?
Yep.
Somebody has been exploring that, and it seems to go down to the Underdark. So they're setting up a shop, essentially. Like, they're going to explore it, and anybody who wants to explore it has to go through them.
The northern passage heads to the Underdark.
Yep.
Andermere?
The project is the Tellerant mercenaries leaving.
Oh.
Not a we're retreating, but a we're done.
Muktuk researches other uses of liquor. How did that go, Kyle?
I think it went great. I think they realized they can use it for getting drunk. They can also use it to
Finally, another use.
aid in like bandages and stuff, but I think there's also some magical uses they have for it that they can brew it into things that they didn't know about.
Now is the time to conserve energy and resources. A project fails but gain in abundance. Or, now is the time for hurried labor and final efforts. A project finishes early but gain a scarcity.
What if the Charlotte one ends early, and she is like murdered, and they gain a scarcity like trust, where they're like, who killed her? Like somebody silenced her.
This
type
is how
thing.
people are going.
Yeah, like why did that happen? We were supposed to be asking her questions, and all of a sudden she's gone.
So one of the holy people killed Charla.
What? No trust for established?
What?
The person
That
that
one.
killed Charlotte is probably also the same person that killed the other guy, keeping everything.
Just one guy covered in blood. He's like, I don't know who did it.
It might have been my And it's not even the death gods because they're not even here anymore.
Investigating the murder of Tellerant in Tellerant. He
They're-
killed the leader.
Unable to find the person who was holding the knife. However, speaking of the knife, they do find an obsidian blade. That would not be common in the Tellerant.
Unable to find the knife.
Unable to find the murderer.
Unable to find
They
the
presumably found the knife.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Unable to find the murderer.
Was it like dropped or was it left as a symbol?
I'm gonna say left as a symbol.
Morricone collects strange animals.
You sure do. They find and start raising like giant chickens.
Giant chickens,
Yeah.
like dinosaurs.
I think I'm moving to Morricone. Like my gosh, they
Those
have
can
Can
some
you ride
nuggets.
said chickens?
They are big enough to ride if you were to train them to do so.
For a small creature. A small creature or a medium creature could
For a
drive.
medium creature.
So they are literally large-sized chickens.
Yeah.
They're the size of horses.
yes.
They're chocobos.
And
Okay. We have chocobos, folks.
So excited!
Dur and Bro would seek mercenaries for war from Tellerant. How did that end up, Mike?
Okay. Only
Browood.
Brelwood is able to secure contracts with the mercenaries.
Well, the Tellerant mercenaries leave.
They are able to leave without incident. Things cool way back down. It all came down to like one family in Ambermere that was getting all huffy about it, and they caused a lot of trouble, and which in turn ruffled the feathers of Tellerant. And basically, they were just like, "We're gonna go ahead and leave," and everybody's like, "Okay."
A headstrong settlement member takes charge of a settlement's work efforts. A project fails, and then a different project finishes early. Or a headstrong settlement member tries to take control of the settlement. How are they prevented from doing this? Due to the conflict, project dice are not reduced this week.
Someone from Muktuk not liking the change that they've seen in the last few weeks to push against the change that's been present. However, they're the overwhelming, hey, we're having a shit ton of fun right now, is like, they don't get any momentum behind their movement.
Yeah, can I have Dur, because I have to stick with them. I want them to investigate this bridge that was destroyed and see if they can learn anything about what happened with it, because they're already passing it on the way there.
Okay.
And coming back. I want an amber mirror for the gems that are being explored. Like, one dude's decked out and like all these random things he like put together, and he's like, I'm in charge now, like I'm, and essentially he was taken down and they were dispersed like among people in the city of like, this is too much for one person to have. We'll give it to like the families and like, you can have this thing, you can have this thing.
Someone comes up with an ingenious solution to a big problem, and as a result, a project finishes early. We have none. What was their idea? Or someone comes up with a plan to ensure safety and comfort during the coldest months. Start a project related to this.
We'll do one project for Muktuk to work on making sure their livestock are prepared for winter, like make sure we're good.
Yeah.
For that. That makes sense. They're gonna set up we're gonna have a project for Muktuk. They're gonna be the hosts of a festival called Moonfest.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a moonshine festival.
Someone's gone missing. They're alone in the winter elements. Choose one of these two options. The settlement organizes constant search parties, and eventually the person is found. Project dice are not reduced this week. Or no one hears from that person ever again.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking Carla. Carla?
Carla, Charla, and Darla.
There's 3 of them to make a coven of hags.
Yeah.
Carla from Tellerant goes missing in the mountains looking for her 2 sisters.
Check out the abandoned bridge. How'd that go, Kyle?
Yes, they can be reconnected because they're just blown up there. But I'll say that they found a bunch of like charred like runic symbols that look like maybe they were written on there and then exploded and something happened from that to explode it. But it can be reconnected and rebuilt to hopefully or potentially give Dar access. I mean, this is still
Say like no one, a few people. It wasn't like a whole town. Let's go find her. A few people went to go look for her, and I would say they found like some kind of like mystical circle.
What is winter like in this area? And how do settlement members react to that weather? Or the winter weather in one area takes a turn for the unexpected. How so?
For Dur.
Okay.
Just the worst winter possible. Or village building, as reinforce it as a warming place for the community.
In preparation for the coming year, a settlement begins a huge undertaking. Start a project that will take at least 5 weeks to complete.
So somebody cleverly with the glass is learning how to, it has like magnification with it. Stuff they can do that has more than artistic use with the glass, I guess. Not even specifically magnification.
They're building greenhouses.
Yeah, greenhouse.
Or extra.
Anything that you would use glass for that's not just pretty is one person is, or at least one person be kind of pragmatic about it and like, oh hey, we can do other stuff. We're gonna add some undead to the map.
Yeah.
Pretty much right in the middle is an old, clearly used to be like a battlefield or something. And Muktuk especially has noticed during Moonfest, there was an attack by an undead guy on somebody during Moonfest, and everybody just assumed they were drunk.
A great atrocity is revealed in a settlement. What is it and who uncovers it? You can see why everyone left for the crossroads. This is terrible.
Everyone's like, my town sucks. Your town sucks.
Let me tell you about these undead that attacked us on a festival.
Have you heard of Dur?
How did the Muktuk prepare their livestock? How did that go?
Oh, went well.
They're ready. The little
Yeah,
guys have
They're
their.
good to go. They got it. Livestock is their abundance. They got this on lock.
Okay, they know how to deal with it.
Tellerant discovers that people have actually been using these gems and technology together for a while, but in secret, underground, like in the mountains type thing. And now that it's coming out and that other people have discovered it, they've not been using it for good things, for bad things. But maybe potential leaders in the community have been using them as ways of persuading people. We don't know. It could help with charisma, whatever it is. But they've been kind of imbuing things with powers from these gems for a while.
Winter elements destroy a food source. If this was your only food source, add a scarcity. Or Winter elements leave everyone cold, tired, and miserable. Project dice are not reduced.
Yeah, sorry, Dirk.
Tellerant, they've heard about the lakes of Browwood and how people are disappearing, but they're all strong and mighty, so they're going to go investigate that and try and solve the problem.
Charlie, your project failed. Someone failed it.
Which one?
Reinforced buildings endure.
Yeah.
They are unable to protect themselves against the
Wasn't
elements.
it?
Oh no, I wanted it to fail. So cool. Okay, great.
There have been sightings outside of Dur of abnormally, like, you'd see a dire wolf and they were thinking like nightmarish vision that would hide behind a large hill.
So we're adding giant menacing wolves. An infected outsider arrives
No.
seeking amnesty.
Love it.
They have some much needed resources with them.
Well,
Choose one.
Well, Darla, welcome back.
Welcome.
Oh,
Welcome them.
choose one.
Welcome them into a settlement, and as a result, you can remove a scarcity, but also introduce an infection into the settlement, or bar them from entry. What scarcity could they have addressed, and how does its need become more dire this week?
We'll take that.
More dire this week.
I think Muktuk's gonna get the sick person again.
That makes sense. The undead stuff.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, I was thinking syphilis.
I'm thinking it's some
Mutated syphilis.
rapid chlamydia.
I didn't say where they got this.
No, I think it's something undead related that has infiltrated.
Like a necrosis,
Yeah.
kind of. A settlement is destroyed.
Oh my god.
Its trade good becomes hard to find and increasingly valuable.
Watch, you're gonna pick Amber Mirror for
The
the first
game
time in 20
is
cards.
over. Or groups of travelers are forced to take shelter in the winter weather, create a new settlement. The game is over. So if any of you wanted to be orphans, that well, my hometown was destroyed. Everyone I know is gone. Here's your chance.
Setting up that backstory.
I volunteer if you destroy me.
I'm gonna say that the barbarians that were harassing Muktuk with the winter coming have decided to find places to hunker down and create like a swamp like. I would assume that it's more of like a warmer climate
Yeah.
in the
You could be
swamp.
balls deep in the swamp.
And like, yeah, they kind of have like little tree houses up there and create like a little primitive swamp like
That's awesome.
settlement over.
Can I steal?
Who's to say?
Yep. Do you want to destroy a settlement?
Yeah, it would have to be my own though, correct? If I stole it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Unless someone wanted to do it for someone else if they wanted their settlement destroyed, but you could destroy your own.
I mean, I have no connection or ties to Browwood, so yeah.
Brellwood
Imagine it.
is
I like that.
destroyed. So that means that
Yeah.
like that great lumber is now a scarcity and it's very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And if people want it, they got to go up into this woods to get it.
Yeah, they just are able to grow food easier.
Okay. Greenhouse essentially.
Greenhouses, spyglasses, glasses.
Tellerant was investigating the lake
Mm-hmm.
here. People are getting stolen away by like sirens in the lake.
So can a couple of you send me your notes and have it broken down by settlement on what affected the actual settlement, so I can put that on one. Welcome back again. See, it wasn't all bad. They did some good things in there. They have a couple festivals to attend. They've got a couple positive things brewing. We did lose one of the settlements, so Brellwood is going to be a complication in the future, especially because a couple of the settlements rely on their lumber, and that's one of the trade goods that they need. Now that's going to be a much more needed resource. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, and someone's going to have to go up there and get it, because there's currently no trade going on. I wonder who that's going to be. But that is the Quiet Year in a nutshell. I hope that you got at least a little bit of a feel for it and kind of saw how some of the questions bleed into one another. You got to see how my players kind of jumped in off one another's ideas, and how you can kind of see that this is a great way to homebrew a region and a world that you can build a whole campaign in with all the different questions that are asked and all of the different interplay there. The next video that we're going to be looking at is going to be dealing with the characters' backstories, and they're going to be using a lot of the elements of what we did in the Quiet Year to build into their backstories and kind of place themselves in the world and build their character off of those events that happened. It's going to be really interesting to see just how much of that they fold in and how much kind of extra background that they'll pull in of different directions that they wanted to go that wasn't addressed at the table. We'll be covering that in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and listening to us play the Quiet Year. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe, like, comment. I'd love to answer any questions that you have, or if you've ever played the Quiet Year, tell me how it went for you. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, why be a player when you can be a god?